Hello, everyone. I'm Vicki Felder with the USDA Domestic Hemp Production Program. Today, I will give a presentation that was previously given on November the 3rd in Vermont to all of the Vermont growers. So this presentation is the same presentation. Without further ado, I will get started. Okay, topics that we will cover will be the application process, lots designation, regulatory sampling and testing, remediation and disposal, reporting and compliance. The Agricultural Marketing Service, which we say AMS, the acronym, administer programs that create domestic and international marketing opportunities for U.S. producers of food, fiber, and specialty crops. Some of these agencies is the dairy, specialty crops, livestock and poultry, cotton and tobacco, the National Organic Program, Science and Technology, Transportation and Marketing, the Federal Grain Inspection Service, and now hemp. These are some of the labels that you may have seen that's covered under AMS. The Farm Bill. The 2018 Farm Bill directed USDA to establish a national regulatory framework for hemp production in the United States. The USDA published a final rule on January 19th of 2021. That regulates hemp in the United States. The final rule builds on the internal final rule published, the interim final rule published October 31st of 2019 that established the U.S. Domestic Hemp Production Program. The final rule incorporates modifications based on public comments and lessons learned during the 2020 growing season. The final rule became in effect on March 22nd of 2021. This final rule is still in effect today. You can read more about the final rule. It's posted on our website. So if you would like more information, please visit our website. What the USDA regulates. States and tribes with their own program. States and tribes may manage hemp in their jurisdiction through an approved hemp plan. The USDA reviews and approves the hemp plan to be sure it's in conformance with the final rule. The USDA audits the state or tribes to be sure they are following their approved hemp plan and the final rule. The USDA also directly manages growers in states or tribes that do not wish to run their own programs. A state or tribe notifies the USDA that they wish the USDA to manage their growers in their jurisdiction. USDA provides direct oversight to these growers. What the USDA regulates. The USDA regulates the production of hemp, that is the growing, the harvesting, the planting, anything with the growth production of hemp is covered under the USDA regulations. States and tribes with hemp plans. USDA hemp growers directly. The USDA does not regulate the manufacturing side of hemp. The transportation of hemp, hemp-derived products. The FDA is the main federal entity that regulates products made for human and animal consumption or medicine and supplements. License. There is no fee for USDA license. The applications are processed on a rolling basis throughout the year. The only fees that you will have to pay for will be your background, your FBI background check, fingerprinting that's associated with the background check, and sampling, testing, and potential if you have remediation or disposal. It may be fees there. Your USDA issue hemp producer license is valid until December 31st of the third year after in which the license was issued. Any changes to your license information, such as a change of your name, phone number, email, all of that can be done in the hemp database. This is the link for the FBI background summary report. When you click on this link, it will take you and direct you to what steps you need to take next, and as far as getting your FBI background check. This is if you're trying to, when you are trying to apply for a USDA hemp license, you will need to acquire a USDA eAuth authorization, and you need to register there for account. Once you get this account and you've been verified, then you're able to get into our hemp database. So you will need this authorization, and you will need to also have your FBI background check when you apply for your license. When you are in our system, when you log into our database system, you will see the login down here at the bottom, login with your credentials and everything, and then you'll be able to apply for the hemp license. When you receive your license certificate, it should look like this. It will be in our hemp database, the certificate, where you can download this information. So your certificate will have your name or business name. It will have the license number and the date that it was issued, along with your address and the date that it expires. So we advise that you make several copies of this certificate to have with you. The FSA, this is the Farm Service Agency Office, and reporting, you can find this information under the final rule under section 990.23, reporting hemp crop acreage to your Farm Service Agency Office. All licensees shall report the hemp crop acreage to the Farm Service Agency Office within 30 days from the date of the hemp being planted, and shall provide at a minimum the following. All locations where you plan to grow your hemp must be reported to the FSA office. The acreage dedicated to the production of hemp, like if you're growing in a greenhouse or indoors, square footage dedicated to the production of hemp has to be reported, and your hemp license number. Things to remember when you're reporting to the FSA office is that it's very important that the FSA staff captures your license number exactly as it's printed on your license. Make sure to bring your license certificate with you when you visit the local field office. So yes, you want to bring your certificate and make sure that they have it in the right format, like we have it on the certificate. And then you want to call your local FSA field office before visiting in person, because due to due to COVID, some office have you schedule an appointment. So it's by appointment only. So you want to call first, contact them first, and make sure that it's a good time to visit in person. or schedule an appointment. Establishing your farm profile. If you do not already have your farm registered with FSA, you need to contact your local FSA county office and provide a copy of your hemp license. Proof of identity. Provide documents showing ownership. That's like a deed or a lease agreement of the land of where you're producing hemp. So you want to take all that information with you. Hemp lot designation. So a lot is a continuous area in a field, greenhouse, or indoor growing structure planted with the same variety or strain of hemp. No limit on the number of lots established. So there's no limit there. The lot location can change from year to year. All lots must be sampled and tested for THC compliance prior to harvest. How to designate a lot. You can designate your lots by variety, strain, or chemovar, by planting date or event, by risk mitigation. This is like mitigation is the breakdown from larger lots into smaller lots to prevent like hot crops from losing your whole crop. And then continuous land can be divided by fence lines, waterways, tree lines, road or driveways, different rooms within an enclosed structure, and different buildings. FSA lots. So FSA will assign FSA lot IDs for each of your planted hemp lots. The FSA lot ID is a combination of the following assigned numbers. So you should have your farm number, your tract number, your field number, and subfield number if applicable. So they combine all of those together to make your lot ID. So like the previous slide, when you have a continuous area with one variety, that's considered one lot. If you have a one continuous area with two different varieties, that's considered two lots, and so forth, so on. If it's two lots, if it's separated by a water wave or by tree line or fence line, all of those is showing, you know, the different lots. So in the hemp database, if you look under your license number and then under the lots, it will have your lot information listed. Like this person has 5 lots. So it's showing all of the lots, the date that it was planted, the acreage, the year, and all of the locations. So on the FSA 578 form that you will receive back from the FSA office, they will have a map of the location of where you're growing your hemp. And on that 578 form, it will have all your information as far as the date it was planted, the acreage, the variety, your farm number. Everything will be, all the information will be on your 578 form. Hemp grown for transplants, seedings, and clones. All of this must be reported to the FSA for acreage reporting. Then you must submit to us a alternative sampling method proposal for THC compliance testing. Also with the disposal plan, we need this information submitted to us. If you're planning to grow for microgreens or greens, The same situation, you must report to your FSA office, the acreage, and then you must submit to us a alternative sampling method proposal for THC compliance testing and disposal plans. Regulatory sampling requirements. This is found under section 990.24 under the final rule. The responsibility for USDA licensees prior to harvest. Remember, you are responsible for finding your own sampling agent. The USDA does not sample or test hemp, and then hemp growers cannot take their own samples. This includes the licensee grower, a family member that's living in the same household as the licensee, or employed or related to the business. They cannot be a sampling agent. You are responsible for all sampling and testing fees that for each of your designated lots. And sampling should be organized no less than 30 days before the anticipated harvest. Certified USDA sampling agents. You must use a sampling agent that has been trained and certified by the USDA. A list of USDA certified sampling agents is available on our on the hemp database. Labs can employ or contract with USDA certified sampling agents to take samples. You are free to select the lab of your choice. So here also, some of the sampling agents is already associated with a lab. You can use that lab, but if you choose to use another lab that's in state or out of state, that is your decision and your choice to make. Please see the sampling guidelines for more information about hemp sampling. So sampling, the sample shall be made just underneath the flower material located at the top 1/3 of the plant. That's about 5 to 8 inches in length. The number of cuttings collected is determined by the size of the growing area being sampled. So finding a sampling agent in our hemp database, you want to look under testing, and then under testing, look for finding a sampling agent or testing lab. Click on that. Finding a hemp testing laboratory, you want to identify and contact the laboratory of your choice to test your sample for total THC. You may use any laboratory that meets the USDA minimum performance requirements, that's in state or out of state. And the laboratory must test for total THC concentration and report all test results to the USDA and to you through the hemp database. Labs must be DEA registered before December 31st of 2022. We just got word that this has been extended to December 31st of 2023. So as we get more news, we will keep you posted. So find again, you want to log back into our hemp database and look under testing labs, and then there it will have the testing lab name. You want to put the name there and then put the state and do an advanced search. If you cannot find the name listed, like listed below, this envelope in the corner here, you want to click there, and that will help you search more for information or see if they are in the system. Lab testing requirements. Labs must use post-decarboxylation or other similar reliable methods as approved by the USDA. The THC level test must reflect the total THC derived from the sum of THC and THCA. The measurement of uncertainty, which we call MU, must be calculated and reported with the test results. Labs should review the testing guideline documents published concurrently with the final rule for further testing requirements. It is the responsibility of the producer to ensure that the laboratory they choose is following the program requirements, guidelines. It is the responsibility of the lab to report the test results to the USDA using the hemp database. Labs only need to submit the final official THC level test documentation to the USDA. The USDA does not require labs reports requested by the growers to monitor their crop during the season. We only need the final report, the official one, during harvest. Harvest requirements fall under section 990.26. Responsibility of USDA licensees after laboratory testing is performed. When creating your sampling event, go to the harvest event link and set up the anticipated harvest date. Producers can harvest immediately after sampling up to the 30th day. You may not move your harvested hemp into the stream of commerce until you have received a passing test result. If not completely harvested within the window, you must resample the remaining plants as a new lot. It is the producer's responsibility to maintain harvested lots separately to prevent commingling and cross-contamination until lab reports are received. Once you have harvested your hemp, go back into the database and complete your harvest event. Non-compliant cannabis requirements. This is found under section 990.27. Producers are required to report the disposal or remediation of crops testing hot via the hemp database. Producers have the options to destroy their crop using one of the approved destruction methods found on our website. Producers must document destructions by either taking pictures or videos and uploading them with their destruction report via the hemp database. Producers also have the options to remediate. Remediated material must be retested and receive a passing test result before it can move or enter into the stream of commerce. Disposal options. The USDA producers do not need law enforcement on site to destruct up their hot crop. Documentation of destruction, including pictures or videos, as posted as part of their disposal report. So these are the options that you have: plowing under, mulching, disking, bush mowing, deep burial, and burning. Excuse me. Remediation for hot crops. Licensees can choose to remediate crops that test over 0.3%. Remediation allows the farmer to recuperate some of the value of the crop, so it's not a total loss for you. If a remediation occurs, you must submit a remediation report to your USDA using the hemp database within 30 days of occurrence. Remediated hemp must be retested and the results must be below the 0.3% total THC to enter the stream of commerce. Remediation for hot crops. Your first option is to shred the entire lot into a biomass. This is called whole plant blending, where you blend the whole plant into a biomass. Your second option would be to separate and remove all of the flower from the stalk, leaves, and seeds of the lot. This is usually useful for fiber crops. Audits and inspections. So we do desk audits and on-site inspections. The desk audits will be records review and then record submission. We may request records from you, and hemp growing locations reporting. On-site inspections are field or greenhouse inspections, or wherever you're growing your hemp. We would need to visit that site. And then hemp planted, harvested, or remediated. On-site verifications of reported hemp productions. So this is a good opportunity for us to meet you and for you to meet us. And we have a one-on-one conversation of your growing season, or, you know, what did you produce, or did you have any issues during the year? It's just more of a one-on-one contact with you, and it's not always viewed as a bad thing. It's somewhat a good thing, because then we get to see your operation, your facility and everything. And then if you have questions to ask, you can ask those questions and provide us with information as well. So that's the good side. Examples of non-compliance is not submitting a disposal or remediation report, not using a certified sampling agent, and not harvesting within 30 days of compliance sample collections. So when the sampling agent is out there to collect the samples. Not resampling and testing remediated material, and not submitting annual reports by December 15th of each year. So here as well, on the annual reports, whether you grow or not, you are still required to submit a report. Negligent violations. So producing hemp without a license, that's one. Not reporting planted hemp to the Farm Service Agency office, and producing hemp that exceeds the 1% total THC. Only one negligent violation can be assessed per calendar year. Producers issued a negligent violation will be placed on a 2-year corrective action plan, and having 3 negligent violations in a 5-year period will result in the loss of your license for 5 years. Corrective action plan. So this is in place for 2 years from the date of notice of non-compliance, and it requires more frequent reporting, the final inspection to ensure that corrective actions have been implemented. Culpable mental state greater than negligent. This is falsifying information and intentionally producing hemp greater than 1% total THC. This will result in the license revocation of, and you will be reported to the U.S. Attorney General and the Chief Law Enforcement of states or tribal jurisdiction. So this concludes the presentation. If you have any questions, please contact us. This is our email address below here, and our new 800 number, and this is our website that you can visit for more information. So please contact us, as I stated, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Thank you, and this concludes the presentation. Thank you.